So, we're reviewing episode 17 of Deadwood.
Yep.
Complications, formerly difficulties, in which the future fucks you, you don't fuck the future.
That's a good line.
It was. So, what happened in Complications, formerly difficulties?
Well, the big events of this episode is the future of the camp is in jeopardy.
It is.
The county commissioner makes his kind of power known, or he tries to, by posting a headline that
he posts what he wants to be a newspaper article, but the newspaper Merrick Man refuses to publish it because he's got integrity. He just puts it on the wall, and it basically is full of nothings. It just says a bunch of nonsense, which is intended to be so ambiguous people get riled up about it.
That's
but
exactly
actually,
what happens.
Yes, they go to the Bella Union with the intention of killing him.
Yes.
Read by Steve the Drunk, a great fucking character. Who has one of the weirdest accents in the show. He just shouts everything in like a bizarre sort of voice. So Steve the Drunk tries to kill Hugo Jarry, and then Taz the General. His name in the show is something else, which we're not going to say.
We're not allowed to say.
We're just going to call him the General.
Just a certain racial slur.
A certain racial epithet.
Which we're not allowed to say.
Which we don't want to say it. We don't want to bring that up.
We don't want to say it.
No. BNP in here, we're not allowed to say it. PC gone mad. But, Alma is also pregnant.
Yes, we were just tucking down to a Subway dinner.
Yeah.
As Alma Gara was thrown up into her chamber pot.
She was thrown up in her chamber pot.
Which was lovely, so it shows that she's pregnant.
Yes.
And she seeks the advice of Trixie.
Yeah.
And also, I kind of forgot about her relationship with the doc.
Oh, yes.
She's a bit intimidated by the doc. She thinks the doc kind of looks down upon her because she was a former opium fiend.
Yes. And there's a little bit more with Francis Wilcott.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Tarver discovers that Francis Wilcott is crazy. And yes, that appears to be more little moments in this one than big. Oh, Al's on the mend as well.
Oh yeah.
Al finally gets lines, which he hasn't done for a few episodes.
He's like, "Rrr.
Yes.
Did you hear the fucking bell ring?"
Yes. So, did you think it was a good episode?
Yes, it was a very good episode.
It was a great episode.
It was a 9 out of 10 episode.
Oh, I'd give it a 10 again.
I'd go for 9.
I know, it was a classic.
I'd go for a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of stuff in this episode about class struggles.
Yes.
Within Deadwood. Obviously, Deadwood this season is set in 1877, and there was a lot of things about how the treatment of black people.
Yes.
They can't get back at the commissioner. He's too powerful, so they decide to, in a horrifying sequence, tar the general.
Oh, that's awful, yeah.
It's absolutely horrible.
Who is this general guy? He kind of just came out of nowhere. Who is he?
He's just he works at the livery for Hostetler. He becomes part of it later on. He left and he came back. I like that part of the show. The fact that characters, it's revealed in the line of dialogue that he was there last October.
Yeah, I got that.
But he just works at the livery. He's just like a person who's come from like everyone else to try and improve his life. But I think it's a very trenchant comment on what they're trying to say, that everyone can have a second chance apart from the general and Hostetler.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a chance apart from them. No one really cares. Like there's the scene where so they take him to Chinaman's Alley to tar him, and like Dan Doherty sees it and tells Al, and he's like, "What the fuck do I care?" He's like, to him it's just another black person getting killed. He doesn't really care. It's harsh but historically accurate. There's no real reason he would care. Also, the only people who really treat him like a human being is Jane. Calamity Jane, yes. She's a drunk. She's at the bottom of the pecking order.
She don't care.
She doesn't care. She won't even... 2 characters in this episode refuse to let other characters wipe the bottle before they drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Al and him. Al and Jane. So it's a comment, I reckon, about how both of them... Well, it's a reversal, isn't it? Because in the last scene, Al is in a lower position than Bullock. He's beaten He's got that horrible eye.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The eye that's full of blood. But he won't allow, even though he's at that bottom rung of the ladder physically, he still has the power to tell Bullock not to wipe the bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously Jane, even though she is a woman, and at the time, she's a non-sexualised woman, so people look down on her because of that. She also won't allow him. So people at the bottom tend to be the characters in Deadwood who are the most empathetic. Like all the other characters don't really care. There's even the insinuation that Bullock he cares a little bit, but I don't think he cares that much. Like he didn't really stop it from he only stopped it after it happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, every character's looked down upon like that.
Everyone's a racist.
Yes, Alma, being a woman, feels like the Doc is slightly condescending to her.
Yeah.
Which she probably was, which she slightly is. Another scene of a character showing warmth towards another one. The Doctor warms up to Alma. He is a great. I love that scene where he's like, "And apologies for my previous eccentricities," trying to get in there as just to help her out. It's great. The Doc is like probably the most warm character so far. He's had some. He cares about everyone regardless of colour or creed.
Yeah.
He's one of the show's most pure, innocent characters. Yes. Anything else you'd like to add about difficulties, formally complications?
Formally complications. We had a great EB speech at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
He kind of gave like a little. He was obviously practicing what he was going to say to Alma because Alma made a bid on the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was practicing like, "Oh, I have to decline, ma'am."
Yeah.
Which is cool. I really enjoyed that scene.
Also, Richardson is a character also.
Oh, that was good, yeah.
Who's at the very bottom.
Yeah, he is, yeah, yeah. He's like, "I like you.
You're pretty."
You're pretty.
Yeah.
That's the last we'll have to have a talk about this, Mr. Richardson.
That's cringe over.
Yes.
See, no, it's like, the show has so many characters at this point, but none of them feel short-changed. Richardson's like a full character, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's well acted and what?
That big bearded guy sleeping with that woman.
Silas.
Silas is sleeping with
Oh yes,
somebody.
and it's obvious the woman is trying to get an audience with Al.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of great shots in this episode, and all my favourite was Hotstetler's, I loved the little detail there where Hotstetler's writing his will.
Oh,
it's really poorly done. Like the
Yeah.
E's are backwards and stuff because he wouldn't have been able to. He wouldn't have had like a formal education writing at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's I love the shot where he's writing it, and then just a shadow goes across him, and like he doesn't mention it, but it's obvious that Steve's there. Sad.
That is, yeah.
Yes. It's another. It's an episode about one of the themes of season 2 about how, in many ways, fate is controlling the characters more than they make any conscious actions.
Yeah. Yes.
So none of the characters really, apart from possibly Al, who's been sidelined by fate itself, have really the ability to stop what's happening there.
No.
They're all pawns in Cy and Al, and to an extent Seth. But even Seth's a pawn, really.
He is really, yeah.
Yeah, and whoever this mysterious backer is,
Yeah.
who's hired Francis Walcott. But they're all pawns in that kind of game, so they just take their anger out on the person who they easily can. Like there's that great scene where he's like, "We'll take him, we'll make it look like we're gonna kill him, and then you run up and get him. We'll have to come out guns blazing. We'll just kill him."
Yeah, let's kill him.
Yes.
Yeah.
A great episode of showing about how sort of mob rule, and how again, this is sort of showing the negative aspects of how the town is like one organism.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like before, it's shown as like everyone's connected. It's all this positive stuff, but now it's like it is positive, but the downside of that is they can also be one force for just anger.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
They can just take everything out on whoever's the weakest member of their party. Yes, but this one did feel a little bit like they were putting things in place.
Yeah, it was more setting up episode.
Yes. It's nowhere near as good as the stunning next episode, Something Very Expensive, which has got, in my opinion, the best sort of monologue they would ever do. It's absolutely brilliant. But yes, it's what's really weird now is this season plays a lot better the second time we've seen it, because there are a lot of sort of allusions to what's going to happen in later episodes in this one, which you just no possible way you could really spot. What do you think is going to happen later in the season? Because of the way Deadwood is structured, it's incredibly hard to actually pinpoint what's going to happen. Yeah. Like season 1, you would never have guessed what the ending would be from the first episode, would you? But
well,
there's some stuff like Bullock being Shelley.
The whole thing about the claims to the camp and the camp becoming an actual town.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's hard to call. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the way it's structured, I've got no idea.
Yeah.
So anything could possibly happen.
See, it's liberating that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like so many TV shows, they have like a structure and you're just waiting for things to happen. It's good, isn't it, to know there's something like literally anything could happen
That's
now.
it. I've got no idea what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yes.
It is good.
Yes, and this season has been so consistent so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like this is you giving it. I'd give it a 10. You gave it a 9, but
yeah.
It's just like a 9 is like the weakest one. It's still great, isn't it? It's like still full of brilliant lines and it's like so dense and just amazing. Like a lot funnier than Requiem for a Gleet.
Requiem for a Gleet, yes.
Yes, but yes. Any closing thoughts on what's it called? Complications, formerly difficulties.
Formerly difficulties.
Yes.
Nah, it's another great episode. Sorry to be so brief and so boring, but there's not much you can say. Well, there is a lot you can say, but it's more of a setting up episode.
Yes.
It pushes the dark side of the camp more. I did really like the scene where like they've put the county commissioner like in jail. It's like, I am in protective custody, and he's like, I'll just keep rattling this bone on your jail all day.
Yeah.
I don't care. Oh, and I liked how Jane was removing the tar from the guy's shoulder. That was horrible.
It was horrible.
It's
really like graphic, isn't it? Like this whole season, like the pissing of the Gleet and the fight with Seth and Al. It's like it's all been very graphic and very HBO anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and you had some prime HBO tits. Boobage, yeah.
Well, like very, very brief.
Very brief. It's like, hey, it's a HBO show now.
Oh, I loved the scene and all where Francis Wilcott reads the letter.
Oh, yeah.
He reads Wild Bill Hickok's letter. It's great. And
that's good, yeah.
You mean, I am a man who needs his pants withdrawn. That is so awkward, that plot line. In a good way. I'm not saying it's awkward like you would say for like something that's like laboured.
Yeah. No,
but it's such an awkward thing.
Iron Man wants his pants removed. And she's like...
Yes. So do you think he's like a horrible monster, or... He's a really weird character, isn't he, Francis Wilcott?
I can't pin him down. He's clearly a disturbed individual who's gotten involved in dodgy dealings, and I think clearly his employer has taken advantage of his mental health.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think he's not evil or anything. He's just misguided and been taken advantage of, I think.
Yeah.
Clearly a disturbed individual.
Yes, I read an implication that the woman he's seeing is his cousin. Because there are like allusions to the fact that like apparently David Milch explains in one of the commentaries, obviously we can't see them because they're fucking Columbia and they're horrible UK DVD releases that aren't half as good as the HBO ones and they mess up the Blu-rays. But anyway, apparently he said that people who have he was trying to suggest that people who have been abused can sort of sense it in other people. That's why him and sort of Joni have a connection. Like in season 1, Joni said that her father was like a rapist.
Oh yeah.
Who abused her and her siblings. So they were trying to suggest that he may have been abused, and that's why he obviously like he can function, but he's sort of disturbed.
Yeah.
And he says that he senses that she may have been fiddled by a cousin. I think like a family member is what he says. But yeah, like they have that kind of connection. So I think that's what they're going for. And he's really good in it, the actor, isn't it? The guy who was in season 1, who now has a beard and looks
completely don't recognise him from Jack McCall. No,
he looks just completely different. But I think, we'll get to it in the next episode, but I can understand why they did it, and it becomes clear in the next episode. But another great episode, a bit of a breather.
A reprieve.
Yes, not as dense as other ones. It told one story essentially, from beginning to end, about the abused people in Deadwood. It didn't advance the sort of main season plotline on much. We got a bit more about how they're trying to shake up the town. But you're right, it's a bit of a breather, a bit of a reprieve. It's adding some new elements. Yes. Like, as you were saying, there's a black character in Deadwood.
Yeah. Oh, he's appeared.
Yeah. But this is the thing, this is why I think Deadwood is such a good achievement, because it adds characters sort of brick by brick.
Yeah,
you get to see new social strata of Deadwood just build up little piece by piece by piece.
Yeah.
So yeah, another great episode. I mean, we'd say great, 9,
Oh, it's
10.
totally great, yeah.
Season 2's rolling on ahead. Stick with us for what I think is, from what I remember, because it's been about a year, maybe a year and a half since I watched it. Something Very Expensive, I think, is the highlight of season 2, apart from the pilot, which is more of a standalone sort of film. But yes, stay for Something Very Expensive. One I can't wait to talk about.
Excellent.